bank. First time in 2019, LAFC661 is in the house. That sounds silly to say. That's an old phrase. I'm old. Anyway, the bank's a special place, special atmosphere. It means something different to everybody. It's a special place to come back home. It feels like family. What do you think, Layton?
I think something that is so influential about the Bank of California is the atmosphere we built here as a club. The fact that we have such dedicated supporters, no matter what's going to happen to this LAFC squad, win, lose, or draw, everybody here is always going to be behind them. I think that is something that is special. The community built here at LAFC, that's all based in Los Angeles.
Yeah, and the community is huge. You know, support is, all the MLS stadiums have good support, except for maybe Carson. Sounds like a retirement home down there. But community is huge here. And in Los Angeles, it's a cultural diversity like nowhere else. So it doesn't matter here. Black, white, brown, purple. I think I saw a purple person here last year.
The special snowflake.
Doesn't matter. It's family here. It represents every part of LA, which represents the world. We already saw the El Salvador flag here tonight for our recent Zelaya signing, and we're excited to see that. So it's like coming home. It's like a family reunion. We had our winter break. We're looking forward to the next season, and here we are. It's great to be back. So come see us. We're section 224 down the south end. Come say hello, and we'll see you soon. All right, welcome back. You just saw a little bit of our trip to the bank for the Vissel game, which was like a homecoming of sorts. It was great to be back in the bank. Hope you all who were there enjoyed it as much as we did. Layton, what were your thoughts? Great game back at the bank. What did you think we saw out there?
In my opinion, I think we saw two different teams. I think very visibly two different teams. Not just how we played, but actually how we looked. We basically brought in a whole new roster for our second half.
Yeah, we had A squad and B squad.
Yeah, but I still think the B squad played well as well because I think Vissel played a great game. I think he's did we officially sign him or is he still on the camp?
He's still a trialist. I believe that we're going to sign him, but
probably.
I hope so.
So our Mendoza got a goal. We'll talk about it. I know I'll be talking about him later in this video, but I think our B team as well as our A team played a very good second half against probably one of the better teams in Japan.
Yeah, I agree. It was great to see their stars. The fans loved it. We gave them their due appreciation. But at the end of the day, our stars won out, and that was fun to see. They were playing at mid-season form, I think. Even if you look at our B squad, everybody played great. It was like a mid-season game. The atmosphere of the stadium was great. A couple takeaways I have. Shaft Brewer is fast. It looked unreal, like video game fast, some of the moves that he was making. And also, Peter Lee Vissel is playing well beyond his age. If somehow, Bob, you're watching this, I think the best place for him to develop is with our varsity team, the big guys. I think that he's ready to develop in that manner, and that would be the best for him. I think he's got the maturity to do that, and I was really impressed by that. But that was it. Vissel was a great game. Since then, we had a loss to Columbus, 4-2, which my theory on that is that they played in front of an empty stadium.
Well, it was also A squad, B squad. I found that we basically switched it up. I looked through the Twitter feeds, but we also played A squad, B squad for that game as well.
But even so, like I follow everybody on Instagram, and Harvey made it clear that it's just not the same playing in front of an empty stadium. 32-52, and us quieter ones over in the south end. Our support means a lot, I think. But we'll see how that goes. But that's preseason so far on the club level. I'm excited. I think we have a year under our belt. We have a year of working together. We brought back basically the same defensive line that we had last year, And now they have a year under their belt working with Bob Bradley's system. I think our defense is going to look better this year than it did last year. You going to intro this one?
Sure. So over this time when we were playing our preseason, there was also an USMNT, as we call it, the USMNT national team training camp that was going on. It was basically just a series of friendly games that was going on during our during the club preseason time. So we were out two of our more known playmakers from last season. Zimmerman and Ramirez were off playing for the national squad. Both actually played fairly well in my opinion. Zimmerman got a goal, and I think Ramirez got a goal and an assist. I can't remember exactly, but I think both played very well.
They both got goals. They both got capped. That's not new for Zimmerman. That was a new experience for Ramirez. I think that's some confidence and some good mojo he's going to be bringing back to the team. He did what he does. He gets inside the box, picks up some loose change, and puts it in the back of the net. So I was excited to see that. I think those two are going to continue to grow with USMNT. That's what I call them until we come up with a better nickname. And they're going to bring that back to our team and grow with us. But that wasn't what you were supposed to intro.
What do you mean that wasn't what I was supposed to intro?
We skipped a part.
That part is all about you. What do you mean?
Well, I can't introduce something about myself. That's no fun.
Finally, closing thoughts.
Okay. All right. So we've talked about preseason. We're excited. We're excited to get this season underway. We're going to be there March 3rd, opening day, Sporting Kansas City. So some things we want to talk about, though, some moves with the roster. We've signed Zelaya, who looks exciting. I like his highlights. He was there at Vissel, honorary Falconer. That was fun to see. Tons of Salvadoran fans there. I love the culture that LAFC brings and represents, and is truly inclusive of all of Los Angeles. One thing I want to note in the Vissel game, Kevin Mendoza, our 4th draft pick out of Liberty University, my school. We were real excited to see him score. I was so proud of him, and he looked good. Since then, we've let him go. So I hope that he picks up somewhere. When he scored, and the public address announcer was saying, Kevin, nobody in the stands knew his name. Layton and I were yelling as loud as we could, Mendoza. I don't think he heard us. People around us looked at us like, who? But that was so cool, being a Liberty graduate along with Mendoza, who impressively, he already graduated. He was there as a student working on his master's. So I hope he picks up somewhere, if not back with us in the future. I think he's got potential. That was a nice move toward the box and score that he had.
I don't know why we dropped him.
We're just deep. I mean, we are deep. It's going to be hard. Like you look at Vissel, you look at Zalai, you look at the people that are coming in.
We have some good people. I can see where you're going. I really hope he does get picked up somewhere else though, because we saw from both the previous high reel before the game and during the game that he's a fairly good player. So unfortunately, it won't be for LAFC this season at least, but we do hope he starts getting play time elsewhere. Yeah.
I mean, more than a fairly good player, he was first team All Big South Conference, Division I, 3 years in a row, 4-year varsity starter at Liberty. That was the first ever draft pick out of Liberty. Their program's growing. I take pride in that. Talking about our deep lineup, I'm going back to Shaft Brewer, who can fly. We didn't see him for very many minutes last year, but that's just part of our roster, which is a good problem to have. It's tough to break into. So Bradley again has a tough, good problem to have. But it's going to be tough to get minutes in there, and it's going to be exciting to see what different kind of combinations we can put in there. Looking ahead, what do you see happening this season?
I saw during our preseason game playing against Vissel that during the second half when we played our B team, you could say, we did bring in some very young new players we had in our training camp. We brought in Vissel, who I think played a great game. But then we also brought in a guy from the Timbers squad, Lamar Batista. He is an absolute giant.
He's at least 8 feet tall.
Like, even zoomed in when I was taking pictures, I ended up tweeting just like, who is this man? Give him a contract. It was like side by side comparison between him and Villa. He's actually a giant.
He's a giant. It only takes 5 strides to get from one side of the pitch to the other, and he played solid defense. Again, an issue of us having a lot of depth. It's gonna be tough to get minutes, but we've got some good guys coming up.
I think if we were to play him and Zimmerman, we're going to take care of all of the balls into the box problems that we may or may not have been having. But even if we did have them, Batista would take care of that.
Batista, he had to actually bend down to head a ball. He doesn't have to leave his feet to get his head on the ball. So that was fun.
So not only on defense, but imagine that on attack too. We throw either Zimmerman or Batista up there for a corner, and we've got it.
Yeah, good stuff going on there. Looking ahead this season, one thing I want to hit on, I mentioned it earlier, but we basically re-signed our entire back defensive line, including bringing in Segura. Did we see El Munir in Vissel? I don't know if he played.
I don't think we did see El Munir.
But we've got some good people back there. I listened to a podcast today, Defenders of the Bank. If you're not listening to these guys, their podcast, you really should reevaluate your life choices to this point. Great guys. But they brought the same thing up. You know, fans for the entire off season are like, we need to sign a defender. We need to sign a defender. You know, we've lost Saman. But they made the point, we've brought back the same guys who individually, they're all solid guys. And they can... Now they have a year under their belt working in Bradley's system. I think you're going to see a much stingier defense back there. So I'm looking forward to that. You know, we always panicked last year in the last 10 minutes because I was like, are we going to hold on to this game or not? Or what's going to happen again? But I think we won't have that same kind of feeling this year. So I'm looking forward to that. Also, we like to do an In the Stands segment. If you have videos to send in, we love those. It shows the passion of the fans, the excitement, the emotion. So here's an In the Stands that we caught from this week.
So that clip was from the south end, up towards the upper level of the south end, but it was Vela's first goal in the Vissel preseason game. Standard Vela goal, cuts back onto his left foot and puts it in the top corner. It's the most Vela-esque you could get. So
Vela doing Vela things. And we sat there watching it. We were sitting there, our new seats this year in the south end. And I'm like, that's his spot, that's his spot, that's his spot, and boom. So I'm really happy for our seats because we can watch Vela do that all season long. So please send, if you have great In the Stands videos, hashtag them, post them, and hashtag us, LAFC661, or direct message them to us, however you want to get them to us. But we'd love to post those and share those with everybody. And then as usual, we like to roast our, I was going to call them friends, but that's a stretch, the Carson Galaxy to the south of us. So here we found a couple good ones this week. Let's roast the Galaxy together.
So this time we have both a picture roast and a video roast. The first one I'm going to show, we're just going to talk over the picture one, but it's I think it's really good. It's basically it's like a meme, right? And it's a side by side picture of Zlatan, but on the one end it's the MLS, like all the Hollywood lights, you know, typical Los Angeles. On the right, it has the Carson Galaxy logo, and it's just nothing.
Yeah.
So then the other one we found was I'm not sure if you guys have already seen it, but it's off of Gary Gold's Twitter. I think it's a very funny video. I was going through the Carson Galaxy hashtag as I realized I should do more often now because it's fairly amusing. But I was scrolling through there and I was like, oh, this is gonna be a great thing. Let's put it on there. So yeah. Here's the video.
Hello everyone, this is post recording Layton saying that when I went to download the video roast that we were supposed to have in this week's LAFC661 episode, there wasn't actually any audio that came with it. So I tried like a bunch of different sites trying to get the video I needed, and it just didn't work, right? So we're actually gonna skip over the video segment, but we always have this picture. We always have this picture roast just in case this ever happens. So yeah, no video segment. That's my bad. So enjoy the Galaxy roast.
Gary Gold is awesome. He's a character. I haven't met him in person yet. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, it's been a fun preseason. Still a couple games to go. But we are counting down the days to March 3rd. Sporting Kansas City. They were tied with Phoenix Rising at the half tonight. I didn't see if they ended up pulling that out, but go Phoenix Rising. We like you guys too. Anything else? Closing thoughts for you tonight?
I don't know. This isn't as related to LAFC as it normally would, but one of our LAFC owners, I don't know the exact name, but he's also the owner of the Cardiff City team in the English Premier League. Struggling right now. They decided to try and bring in a new striker, Emiliano Sala, and if you guys haven't heard the story already, he was on a private jet. Him and his pilot lost connection to the air traffic control center, and they fell somewhere north of Guernsey. It's some little island in between France and England. It's been a few weeks. Earlier today, they found plane wreckage and confirms that the body in the picture that they found was Emiliano Sala. So we would like to give our support to whoever was affected by that from some nowhere valley in the middle of California. So our support does go out to you, because we know we do have that sort of relation by co-ownership. So
yeah, it's always tough to lose anybody, but when someone like Salah has a bright future like that, he's affected a lot of people, had a relationship with two teams, getting ready to start with Cardiff. We know that the extended family is huge, and so it weighs heavy on a lot of hearts. So yeah, that's a tough loss for the entire soccer world. On another note, I'll go ahead and introduce my own thing. I was actually recognized after one video at the bank. Our friends, defenders of the bank, Philly and the Scarf. I ran into the Scarf walking around the stadium. And one of the cool things that I got, what I loved about Bank and our LAFC family, is when we greeted each other, he said, "Welcome home." Like, how cool is that? The Bank is home. You know, we consider it a second home. We're there all the time. We consider it family. And someone who I have never seen in person, you know, shook hands, gave a big hug, welcome home, look forward to seeing you some more. So that's one of the things I love about LAFC, is that we're family. We're all in this together. It doesn't matter if I've seen you 100 times or if I just met you today. So I'm looking forward to more of that. So thanks, the Scarf.
I haven't actually seen him. I just like to picture sometimes that there's no actual face. You just kind of like 17 scarves. Just
Well,
it's just scarf.
You're a graphic designer. You can make that happen for him.
like all Professor Quirrell-esque. Just
Yeah. So, but anyway, thanks for watching. That's our show this time. We had a long break during the season. We're going to do weekly updates for you. Please participate. Send us your In the Stands videos. Send us your Carson roasts. Listen to Defenders of the Bank. Those guys are awesome. And we'll see you next time. Have a good night. Stay classy.